very great Thursday morning to you. How are you feeling? Hopefully you're doing well this morning. We want to welcome you here to Daily Dive. Your time is about 8 o'clock this morning, where we're going to break down all of the latest trending topics of the morning, everything you really need to know as you're waking up to kind of kick your day off the right way. So again, when you come in, hey, make sure you say good morning. We want to make sure we give you guys a shout out. Hey, Paula. Hello, Kathleen. Hello, Sherry. Tammy, good morning. Good morning, Rachel, and good morning, Robin. And if you are tuning in from somewhere other than the First Coast, let us know because we want to make sure we give you a little recognition, right? All right, my name is Brooks Baptiste, and we're going to welcome Katie Jeffries and Steve Fundero. Steven Fundero today. Steven Fundero is going to be his name. We're going to bring them on in. Can I call you Steven?
You call me whatever you want, man.
Good, because I was going to do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It's like
How
he's
we
in
feeling,
trouble.
Katie? Right. How we feeling, Katie?
I'm good. I thought today was Friday for the longest time. I don't know why. It felt like a Friday.
Yeah, sorry to break it to you. It's not. And then for Steve, poor Steve, this is what, Tuesday for him? Or
yeah, I don't know. They all blend together.
Right, I feel you. So, guys, we've got to get into what a very big discussion folks are having today. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Donna. Good morning. Oh, Tammy's watching from North Dakota. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Austin's. And good morning, Gabriel and Shanisha. Good morning. I see a couple of names that we usually see in the morning, so we always thank you all for waking up with us. So, could blowing the candles out on a birthday cake, handshakes, potlucks, sharing things at a dinner table, could that become a thing of the past? So here's why this is a very big discussion. And good morning, Jason from Atlanta. Hey, brother. So I got to ask you guys this. There was a viewer that wrote into the station saying that she kind of had a valid concern with our news team. So she writes in, and I'm going to just read a part of it, saying, I hate to be the one who tries to stop people from doing an old age tradition, but in times of a pandemic, does it make sense to blow out birthday candles? So it got us thinking. We said, okay, wait a minute. So we kind of came up with this list of some of the top things people may say, goodbye to after COVID-19. So if you all have a tradition that you think you are just going to get, you're just going to be done with, we do want you to comment below and we're going to be sharing that. But let's talk about the birthday candles one. Never been a big fan myself of people blowing out birthday candles. I love what it means and making the wish and everything like that, but it's always been a little interesting to me,
Yeah, as an adult, I realized I'm like, they're mostly spitting on the cake. So like I sometimes just wouldn't eat a piece of birthday cake afterward, just because as an adult, I feel like you notice that more.
Katie, I agree with you. It's one of those things where also maybe it depends on how the candles are blown out. We know the young little Timmy and he'll spit all over the cake, but if you have a birthday cake for your mom, I'm sure she'll just blow out the candles very elegantly and then the cake will be pretty clean. But yeah, I think it's one of those unspoken things where everyone knows it's going on and everyone sees it, no one says anything about it, we still eat the cake.
Okay, so Johnny's saying, hey, he's going to stick to tradition. Michelle's bringing up a really good thing, or a solution, I should say, saying have a separate birthday cake to blow out the candles. Problem solved.
Yeah. Do like cupcakes, so then you have separate things.
Yeah. Or cut a piece of cake.
Though. I'm sorry, Steve. That becomes expensive, though. Who's going to keep buying separate cakes and all of this extra stuff for a birthday party? I mean, I get it, but
I think your cupcake is a great route, or you just cut a piece off, one piece, put a candle in it, and then there's your birthday wish. And then, but then I guess that goes against the whole, well, you don't cut the cake until the wish is made and the candles are blown out and all that stuff. But times are changing.
Yeah, well, Anne-Marie said this is why you do a cupcake cake and your child blows out the candle on their own cupcake. Yeah. Jim Fuller saying, not going to change one thing in my life. He said he's sticking to it. Hey, I don't blame you there. Some people just won't switch things up, and that's totally fine. As long as you feel comfortable doing it, Gabriel's saying until people give you the trick, relighting candles. Right. When you think you're done and you've been blowing for about 45 minutes and they're still going. See, we don't have time for that. And that's a lot of particles and saliva that's probably hit that cake that everybody's about to eat. So I don't know if I'm always the big fan of that. But you know what? It's like getting rid of traditions is really, really tough. And some of the other ones people are talking about is like handshakes. You know, that's the way we greet people, right?
Yeah.
But will that change because of this thing? Will people just stop giving handshakes when you first meet somebody? You know, if you're a hugger, you may always say, well, let me give you a hug. But maybe that'll stop too because we got to practice social distancing. So I'm curious to see how things are going to change as, you know, the world kind of opens back up and we're all back out there in life. Slowly but surely gets back to this new norm or too normal. I wonder what are some of those traditions people are going to just have to get rid of?
Yeah, the handshake will be a weird one because I'm sure you guys have run into it too, where you go to see somebody or you meet somebody and you almost have that moment of like, I don't know what to do now, like because I'm not supposed to shake your hand or get close, and it's like the awkwardness of, well, what is the protocol now? So I guess if it's going to be, it almost has to be replaced by something rather than just going
right. Right.
And there's always something there's just something about a handshake too. When you maybe meet someone for the first time or you doing it repeatedly, you're showing them respect, you're shaking their hand, you're looking them in the eye when you greet them. It's just like this, like it's like I don't know, there's something about it. Right. And kind of getting rid of that makes me think, well, what can possibly replace that holds the same power of looking someone in the eye and shaking their hand firmly?
I'm not a big hugger, so I'm fine with doing away with stranger hugs.
Sure.
But I will always hug the family.
You know, and Katie, I gotta tell you, I am a hugger. Like, you know, growing up in the church and everything like that, like that was just what we did. And one of the parts of, you know, what I hate missing right now is being able to go to church and being able to, you know, be there with my church family, hug them, see them. So of course we interact through Facebook or during the stream, the stream of the service. You know, you're saying, hey, haven't seen you in a long time, whatever it may be. But I actually ran into one of my church members at the grocery store, a person that I always give a hug. But I was like, hey, social distancing, I'll see you. And I kept it moving because it's just like, you know, you just don't right now. But, you know, some of the other things, just to share with you, a couple of the things that people are giving up before we move on to the next story. People possibly buffets and potlucks, you know, company potlucks and stuff, because hey, you don't see what people are doing. They're bringing stuff in and everybody's putting their hands on the same thing. We already said handshakes and then eye contact and smiling at strangers in public. Now, the reason this one is a little interesting is because I don't see why that would have to, why
does that change?
Give that up.
Right.
But they say because if we're wearing masks that people won't be able to see you smile anyway. So it just comes off weird if you're just,
it looks like
the eyes crinkle or something. Like, right. You can tell the tone in the voice.
You can, but I do think that it's been quite different anyway for people, because when I've been out, I always make eye contact with people and just say hello, you know, keep it moving. Whether I know you or don't know you, I just always speak. But I've noticed that like people don't even want to make eye contact with you right now. It's just like, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk because I don't want you to say anything. Matter of fact, don't even breathe as you're walking past me right now, you know?
We're like in like tunnel
in
vision
my direction.
anyway.
Right. Yeah, it's just become really weird for people. Connie says, tell my military husband no handshakes. Yeah, not going to happen. All of this is just foolishness, especially potluck. Any good Southern Baptist will tell you potluck dinner isn't going anywhere. You're right about that, Connie. Johnny says that I wonder what's going on with the buffets. Very, very good question. And then Shustan saying, I'd be more concerned about how many gentlemen use the restroom and don't wash their hands. Why you got to come for the gentlemen?
It's everyone.
Listen, there was a study earlier. Oh gosh, I have to go back and find it. That said that, and again, this is like unscientific, but somebody hypothesized that maybe less women were catching coronavirus because we wash our hands more than men.
Just wash your hands. Just wash your hands.
Just saying. It was a hypothesis.
Listen, and I believe in washing my hands before I go to the restroom. Okay, y'all will catch that later. Anywho, let's get over into this next story. Now we're going to kind of switch gears into some of the other trending topics of the morning. So if you guys been to the grocery store lately, you may have noticed a surge in some of the grocery store prices, almost to the point where you're just like, wait a minute. Now, I know just a couple weeks ago or a month ago, things were not this expensive. So I want to kind of give you some background on this one. They say you ought to start looking for some coupons right now. And the reason for that is because with everybody stocking up, don't be surprised that there's this surge in prices right now. So in April, groceries saw their biggest 1 month price jump since the 1970s. So just about everything has gotten more expensive. You have like proteins, like meat, eggs. Those saw the biggest increases here in the U.S. And part of it is because we're facing that meat shortage right now. So because of that, if you go grab a pack of chicken, you may have noticed that it was a little more expensive than what it is. As a matter of fact, I did just go grab some chicken a couple days ago, and it was a little pricey for a small pack of chicken.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely a little bit more pricey. And I know at least some of the stores I go to, like you can only buy like 2 or 3 meat products.
Right.
So like there is a bit of a limit on how much you can actually buy. So people don't food hoard like we saw with toilet paper.
Right. Got to put the limits on for people, right?
I found it's been useful to just, if you get the groceries that'll last you about a week and a half to 2 weeks, if possible. You make that one trip and you get where you can, manage, plan it out for like a week and a half to 2 weeks. But I think I've noticed everything kind of going up. When you plan for that, you go, wait a minute, I don't remember usually spending this much on those groceries, and also just trying to find those deals, especially on produce. There's always some weird 4 for $1 or 3 for $1, something where 5 for $5, something like that. There's always some sort of good little deal in produce that you can always try to take advantage of.
And let me tell you, I found myself recently, like the past 2 weeks, going out to the farmers market, kind of the downtown area.
Yeah.
On Beaver Street. So that's definitely become one of my favorite places to go. And then, of course, you're supporting, some of our local farmers and whatnot who are there and selling their different products and stuff. And I always believe in supporting local businesses. But yeah, went there, got me a melon or two. Have you had a yellow watermelon, by the way?
Saw this on your
Never
Instagram.
heard of this.
Never had one.
What?
Looked great. Looked interesting.
It's really good. It doesn't taste. I mean, it tastes the same like a red. Because you would look at it and you're like, this cannot be the same. But it's kind of like apples. Even though apples have a slight of a different taste, if it's like a red or a green one, and green may be a little more sour. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's nothing crazy. It's just cool to look at.
I saw that on your like what was it, Instagram?
Instagram, probably,
or something yesterday, and I was like, I didn't even know this existed, such a thing. So
I'm sure you
something new every day.
Sure, you can make some sort of colorful cocktail with, that as like a garnish or something, some sort of watermelon something.
Look, when you open it up, yesterday I was opening up to fix myself something, put on the plate. And I was like, you know what? I started feeling a tingle in my tongue because I started thinking it was pineapple for a second. Although, it's definitely watermelon. But I started figuring like, oh, it's kind of like pineapple. Pull that comment back up, David. It says, when Georgia fully opened a couple weeks ago, I decided that I'd shop that Saturday morning for 6 weeks, stock for my 2 houses, my mother's and my own. I overdid it. We are good until well into June. So Danielle, you're the reason why I couldn't find paper towels in the store for a long time, right?
Aww.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And I do know people who are really just trying to get what they can, because I hadn't had paper towels for like 3-4 weeks. And I finally went into Publix one day and then I saw them and I was like, whoo, they have them. And they're like, you can get 2. I only ended up getting 1 because I didn't like the price on them anyway. So I said, I gotta wait till I get to my Sam's and where I can find it a little cheaper and buy the even bigger bulk. But I mean, it's just the reality that we're facing right now. And it says a lot of places, even like, Clorox and these different cleaning supplies, you may not see them fully restocked until July and August.
Yeah.
July and August is when they may actually be able to catch up. And we talked about this earlier, but it's simply because a lot of those products and stuff that they need to make them here in the States actually comes from China. So as a result, when all of that was shut down and now that they're finally reopening up and stuff over there, we can finally get those supplies back over here in the U.S. to keep things moving. So
do you ever notice that some of the things that you buy at the grocery store that you think, are always there because you don't think many people buy them, many people enjoy them, right? And then of recent, go to the store and be like, many a times recently, be like, I thought I was the only one that really liked peas. I was like, I love peas. And I know that, like every time I ask them, you like peas? People are like, no, peas are gross. So I know that they're always going to be at the grocery store. And then I knew things were acting weird and things were going weird when the peas were gone. I was like, wait a second. People are buying peas now? Come on.
Yes. Now everybody gets all the things that we just could have sworn we were the only ones that got, right? Yeah, that's just how it is. So 2 months. It's been about 2 months since we've all been, working from home, and some people are back at work, like Miss Katie J. Steve and I, we're at the house living our life like it's golden and whatnot. Trying to enjoy the last little bit of working from home before things kind of kick back into normal. But they say this new study came out saying it may be time to clean your couch, and here's why: because they say your couch can be up to 12 times dirtier than your bathroom.
Ew.
Just think about that for just a second. And I mean, when you see, people that put their feet on their couch, which is a big no, but they say you got to clean it because before you started using it as your home office or your place to hang out on the weekend, you were probably a little more safe than what you may be now. But, you bring germs in from the outside, bringing them back on your couch. So they say the best way to clean it is probably to use a steamer, but vacuuming it will help as well. I'm just a little lost on the fact that this thing could be 12 times dirtier than your bathroom.
Well, I guess you can't really. How do you sanitize it? That's probably the issue. At least in your bathroom, you can spray bleach and clean it.
Yeah.
I mean, I vacuum my couch mostly to get dog hair off of it. But I mean, other than like Febrezing it, but that's not sanitizing. I don't really.
Right.
Not bleaching the couch.
You can't like wipe it down like you wipe down a countertop or the toilet seat or Windex your counter in your kitchen. You can't, you know what I mean? You just can't just like Windex your couch. So I believe that it of course can accumulate all these germs and become dirtier, but of course just 12 times dirtier than your bathroom. Like that statement in itself just makes you go, really? I just took a nap on that couch.
Look, I'm looking at my couch right now trying to figure out how I'm going to clean this thing today.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a way to do it. I mean, I don't have any Lysol right now. I can't put wipes on it. So it's just like, do I just spray some Lysol and just let it do its work and
try to like
walk away from it?
I don't know.
I don't know. That just makes me think a little bit. And it's just like, because I guess when you come in, you don't necessarily think, I have to change my clothes because I've been at work all day or something like that, even though that's typically what a lot of people do when they first come in from work, maybe. But even if you've just gone to the grocery store, you've just gone to a different place, and let's say you just bring some germs in the house just because it happens, right? And then you sit on the couch, and then it's like, I just put them there as well. So that's definitely interesting. Chrissy's saying Lysol has a fabric cleaner that can be sprayed on. See, I didn't know that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Now, yeah, right. Where do you find that at? Is that at the store? So we have about one more story, guys. Check out this performance from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra Brass Quintet. We're going to let you guys hear it. Steve and Katie, I don't know if y'all will be able to hear it, and I'm sorry in advance if you can't, but I'm telling you, it is absolutely incredible. Take a look. We don't have the sound. My producer just told me we don't have the sound, so y'all aren't going to hear it. But it's about the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra playing Georgia on My Mind. I'm going to make sure I share that on my Facebook page so you all get a chance to hear it, because I'm telling you, this performance is just absolutely incredible. A Ray Charles classic. Steve is bringing out his Ray Charles greatest hit. Is that a vinyl?
Yes, sir, it is. When I saw the story, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I found this at the record store. I was like, of course you have to buy this. Second track on side one is Georgia on My Mind. And
wow.
I mean, Brooks, we heard that during GMJ. And of course, I'm going to watch it again when you post it on social. That is just, it's such a classic jam. Oh, it's awesome.
Man, I tell you, I came across that clip and I was just like, we've got to share this. And just to kind of let you all in on TV, we don't usually use sound bites too long, but that was like a 20-second sound bite, and I didn't care. I said, we're going to play this whole thing because I want people to hear this sound, because this is a brass quintet. And if you know anything about music, you may know that sometimes brass can be a little loud there. It's not like strings where it's just so soft, but these folks can play the heck out of their instruments which I would expect. They are the Symphony Orchestra, but still, they can play the heck out of their instruments. And I'm telling you, that is a performance that you definitely want to check out. So I'll be posting that on my my Facebook page, and then you guys can check that out in its entirety. And I'm telling you, it's definitely worth it. Now, Steve, I hear there's something happening out there brewing in the water.
No, I don't want to talk about it. No,
we're just going to say no.
I was going to say no. Yeah, there could be a tropical or subtropical system that develops. It's actually expected to develop over the Bahamas this weekend, but our weekend still shapes up. We have nothing to worry about. This energy kind of moves to the north and the east, moves away from the first coast. So I was using the two words sun and surf for this weekend. We're going to be near 90 degrees on Sunday. Rip current's an issue at the beach, but really that's it. Serves as a reminder that our favorite, and I say that sarcastically, our favorite time of the year is near June 1st. Hurricane season starts June 1st. You know, in fact, the past 5 years consecutively, there has been at least a storm that develops before the official start of hurricane season. So it's just a reminder that, you know, it's the time of year, you know, where we see these things start to develop. It's just part of our normal now.
Yeah. Now, right, Katie, that's how I feel. Yay. So, Steve, I do have a question for you. And I'm going to kind of put you on the spot, but sure. I've seen these articles and people sharing all of this information on social media talking about this is going to be the worst hurricane season ever. Is there anything you can say to that?
My favorite kind of articles. I love it. You know, what's really difficult is this is going to be such a meteorologist's answer, by the way, because it's like the whole, well, it depends, right? But it's really difficult, you know, to forecast a entire season of tropical cyclones, because a tropical cyclone is hundreds and thousands of individual thunderstorms just reinventing themselves like every 45 minutes, right? They just, it's like, so we have to, you guys want a 6-month forecast of all of those? So all those headlines that say, oh, it's going to be maybe an aggressively energetic season. It's going to be, you know, there's going to be so many storms. Take that really with a grain of salt. All you really need to know is that the ocean is plenty warm, right? There's a lot more heat out there in the atmosphere. So any storm that develops has the ability to be a little bit on the stronger side, right? Be more energetic and really just be prepared regardless. You know, we always say all it takes is one named storm, right? All it takes is one named storm to kind of ruin your day, ruin your weekend. We've never had an entire hurricane season where there was just one named storm, but yet all it takes is one named storm. So a hurricane season with one storm would be the most inactive as they've ever been, right? It would be the quietest storm, the quietest season, but all it takes is one to ruin your day, ruin your weekend. So I would just say kind of push those headlines aside and just be prepared like you always get prepared for hurricane season. If a storm pops up, pay attention to the forecast for about a week or so, and then be merry on your way.
On the upside, you might have all your quarantine food.
Yeah.
Just roll that over to your hurricane kit.
Yeah. You got all the toilet. Everyone's got all the toilet paper.
I was like, you know what? People, they're going to be stocked up already. So I think everybody should be prepared this hurricane season, right?
Yeah. Toilet paper, you know, you're set.
Yeah. And don't let those headlines scare you or, you know, cause any panic or anything like that. Just, you know, storm develops, prepare, pay attention to the forecast. That's all you really need to know.
Well, we thank you all so much. David, I heard you, by the way. I'm going to let you play it out, by the way. We do thank you all so much. I'm talking to our producer, if you couldn't tell. We were just and he's talking in my ear, and I'm trying to communicate with him without communicating through the screen. But as you can see, I couldn't really hide it. So we do thank you all so much for joining us. We're here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 o'clock. Ain't that right, Steve and Katie?
Yes.
8 o'clock.
All right, yes, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so we kind of play out with this song, and it's definitely going to be something again that you want to listen in its entirety, and I'm going to make sure I post that video on my Facebook page. But until we see you guys again, be sure to stay safe, practice social distancing, and always watch those hits. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
you